and welcome back to Football Talk, the podcast with myself, Dave, and Josh. Are you there?
Oh, I am here. Hello.
There he is. Now, you would have known, listeners, that last week we said, we're really excited, it's going to be a face-to-face podcast. As you can clearly tell, we're not face-to-face because I had to introduce Josh, and we're not doing this face-to-face because I got held up in Singapore by all the Gatwick drone nonsense. So if anybody's out there flying drones near an airport, I hate you. I literally hate you. You ruined my build-up to Christmas. I don't care if you're an environmental activist, you're a knobhead, or two knobheads, apparently they're talking to.
And we don't care if you're a listener to the podcast, you can do one. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine if they were one of
you're banned.
People who listen to this.
They're banned from listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Find your IP address and ban it. So I'm still in Singapore, but we do have a one-off now Christmas special, because it was going to be two Christmas specials. It was going to be this one and then next week's, or later this week technically.
Yeah,
but now so
Christmas period.
Yeah, it's going to be a one-off Christmas special, which may make it a bit more special. I guess it may make it a bit more special, and we're still going to have a special guest, hopefully, in Owen, who's been on the pod before. Is he special? He's just a guest, isn't he? He's not
just a guest. There's no Stuart Taylor. There's no Laura Kana talk about the Kana rule. It's just Owen.
It's just Owen. Yeah, so he'll be on. So we'll get that out of the way first, and we'll just move straight on to the news because there's a hell of a lot of stuff to talk about since our last podcast, and there's a lot of Premier League football to review, and well, we'll get onto that in a minute. But first up, Josh, I'm so happy he's gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
And I was at work, and then all of a sudden there was a rumbling of noise around, like, hey, have you heard? Mourinho's been sacked. It's like, what? Yeah, it happened, didn't it?
It was, I loved it. It was just great. It was just brilliant. Like, I was just sitting here at my desk. I think I might have even been playing Football Manager. And the first thing I did is ran up and told my wife, and she literally couldn't give two shits. I think she was happy that I was happy, but other than that she didn't really care. But he's gone, and like immediately the mood just changed. Like, I'm miles away, and it seemed like I could tell the mood was changing in like Manchester and around Carrington and things like that. But I don't know.
London,
in London. Yeah, cheers, mate. And we'll get to the game against Cardiff a bit later on in the Premier League. But I mean, as an outsider, do you think it was the right decision, or would you have given him till the end of season, or until top four was mathematically impossible? Or
no, it's probably gone on a little bit too long.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Yeah, it's needed to happen, and it's just this will speak about obviously replacement, and I'm annoyed by the whole situation, but definitely the right outcome to sack him. I'll obviously watch Mourinho's career with intrigue, see where he goes next. But the man is clearly toxic for a football club environment now. It's just sides literally stop playing for him to get him out of the club.
Yeah, that's what's. I mean, it's embarrassing that professional footballers and athletes and stuff will stop playing football, which is their job, to get somebody sacked. But it's sort of like, it's like everyday life though, isn't it? If you've got a manager that is a bit of a twat and is always demeaning you and belittling you and stuff like that, then you're never going to produce as good a work as you could, no matter what.
No, absolutely, because it's not like they're literally not standing around doing nothing. Like, if you think of your normal work environment, there's some managers you really go the extra mile for, which is what I think is playing like top level football. You go an extra mile, and there's some managers you go, I'm just getting the job done, which is basically what they've done for Mourinho. They're not like playing really, they're just not really doing much. They're doing okay, and if all your players are doing okay, you're not really going to achieve too much. And so I think everybody kind of does that in their own life. It just seems a little bit more transparent when it's something you can visibly see on the pitch and there's results to go behind it. But yeah, it's not. I think as all of us as if you're employed, you'll know that you've kind of not given your all to someone before.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like you were saying about Mourinho's career and watching it with interest to see where he goes, he will never get a 3-year contract again, ever. He just can't. You would be stupid to give him a 3-year contract. Like, and you would, even if you get to 2 years and he's won you everything, would you renew it? Like, it's just, he's now got that stigma. Everyone was sort of like, oh, it's the 3-year itch, and he always leaves after 3 years. I always like, well, it's just the sort that will be the.
I mean, it was almost to the day. I think it was like one day out from his second anniversary. Yeah,
1 day out, crazy. But I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy that he's gone.
Okay, so then we go from Mourinho being sacked to the rumours around there's that few-hour period of who will be the caretaker manager, because they announced that there will be a caretaker manager at the end of the season. Let me ask you this question, Dave.
Hang on.
Well,
because they botched that. They botched the caretaker announcement, as only Man United seem to be able to do at the moment, where they released a statement saying that Michael Carrick will be the interim caretaker manager, while a caretaker manager is found before the permanent manager, and then announced it was Ole Solskjaer before they actually meant to announce it was Ole Solskjaer.
Very true, yeah.
So they did butch that as well.
If I can rewind your mind to, say, the morning before Mourinho got sacked, if I had asked you where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in your list of managerial candidates, where would you have put him?
He would have been quite, well, not low, because it would have been a long list, but yeah, not near the top, I'll put it that way.
He wouldn't have been anywhere near it, would he? And I mean, yesterday's result kind of makes a little bit of a mockery of his statement, but I will say how he knows Man United. Is that really valuable? I don't know. It seemed like an odd appointment. It still seemed like a little bit of an odd appointment, if I'm honest.
It's an odd appointment, but it ticks all the boxes that you need. You needed someone that was friendly with the media. You needed someone that knew the club, whatever that means. I think I'm with you. I don't think that's all in all very valuable.
Well, so he can find his way around. No one has to show him like where the toilets are or something. Say make a coffee. Yes.
I mean, I personally, I think the bigger, or more, not bigger, but the more important appointment is Mike Phelan. That's much more important to the club, because it was among Man United fans, it was pretty much everyone was quite shocked when Moyes came in and immediately got rid of Mike Phelan and the majority of the backroom staff, because Mike Phelan has been there through all the success, and he was like as a manager or as assistant manager or coach or whatever you want to call him. But as a player, he was there during the period where it was not brilliant, and then we got better, and he saw everything Fergie did. So I think that's the better or the more important appointment. But Ole Solskjaer, he ticks the boxes. He's friendly with the media. He's happy. He's a happy-go-lucky sort of chap. He does know the club. He's a legend of the club to the fans. And he's not Jose Mourinho. He's like the parallel opposite of Jose Mourinho. And I think, it's one of those, isn't it? You probably could have got the job, and you would have been like welcomed by the fans and loved by the media. It's a total free hit.
I'm not a manager who throws his staff under the bus, so I probably would have been a good start.
Exactly, yeah. And
I'd have shown some form of kind of willingness to stay by not staying in a hotel for 2.5 years.
I'll tell you what, as soon as I got my first month's salary, I'd be buying the biggest house I could possibly get. Like the salary that you'd get as a Man United manager. But I think it's a weird, going back to your point, it's a very strange appointment, but it's, even before the Cardiff game, when it was announced, I was happy with it, because I was sort of like, well, if it doesn't work out, we're very unlikely to get top four anyway. We're very unlikely to get relegated. So why not get someone in who just is nice and friendly and at least tries to get the players enjoying football? Like the amount of Man United fans I've listened to and spoken to over here, which is weird, but there's a lot of us over here, expats, Man United fans, and it's sort of like it's basically just even if we lose. If we get relegated, that's an absolute disaster. But if we lose games, but the football's entertaining, that's fine. Like everyone's written off the top four.
Okay.
Everyone's written off the top four already, and it's sort of like, well, let's just go out and look. So it looks like the players are sort of having fun. Generally, the players that are at the club, and I think the Cardiff game sort of shows this, is that if they're having fun, they'll play better anyway, and they'll generally get better results, which is like a fact of life, isn't it, at work? If you're enjoying work and you're having a bit of fun at work, then your output's better, generally.
Yeah, you don't mind staying a bit later.
Yeah.
Knock off at 5 and not care at all, yeah. All right, so we have, obviously, we've had interim caretaker, we've had caretaker, and now, obviously, there'll be a permanent appointment.
Pochettino.
it's somewhat. I find it really annoying.
Of course you
to be
do.
honest.
He's your manager.
And but it's just the way, I don't know. It's just really odd behaviour. It's just, you kind of like, it's a knock-on effect. Like, you're asking Pochettino about Man United job, then they're asking Eddie Howe about the Spurs job. It's like, who are you going to ask about the Bournemouth job? What are you doing? Just
It is.
let it go. Like, there's been news how Pochettino's Man United will line up. Jamie Carragher saying, "Oh, if he's offered a job, he has to take it." It's like, does he?
I don't.
Are United on Spurs' level? I don't know. Currently, they're not, but they obviously have. But I don't think that I think Spurs can achieve all that Man United can achieve.
Yeah, it's a weird.
And that's
it's I see it as sort of two. There's two problems with how people line up and see this, and the first one is that we live in a social media world, I guess you can call it that, where everybody's trying to get the next headline quicker than everybody else, which is why they're now asking Pochettino, and people are coming out with these articles of this is how Pochettino's lineups will be for United, and this is what Eddie Howe would do at Spurs, and etc. etc. And then there's the other side of it where everybody still looks at the past. Like, Man United is a bigger club than Tottenham because of their history. Absolutely. And because of the revenue they make. But like you've just said, there is you couldn't. I'm trying to think of a way to say this cleverly and not to sound like a complete twat, which I've failed at already. So I'll just come out with it. Tottenham could win everything that Man United could win this season or next season. Like, why would Pochettino give that? I want Pochettino. He was always my first choice. I wanted him.
Absolutely,
years ago.
Yeah.
It was like, you can't go around and say, well, he has to join Man United because they're a bigger club. Well, they are a bigger club financially. Revenue, Pochettino showed he doesn't need financial backing every season. He's clearly shown that. But it's sort of like, well, he needs to look at it as which club is he going to have the best chance of winning trophies at. And that normally does equate to money, but in Pochettino's mind, it probably won't. I don't know. It's a very strange situation.
But for me, at the moment, it wasn't just Mourinho, which is the shit show at United. He wasn't the sole. So yeah. I think it'd be a risk of him going there and those negatives still being around. But the bit that annoys me is like, Tottenham are never going to be as big as Man United. It's like, well,
yeah, true. I do agree. And something I'm keen to. There's the only comparison, and it's not really a comparison. So to look at history, look at Leeds and when they were winning everything, and then Leeds were one of the biggest clubs in England, weren't they? When they were winning it and they were going into Europe and they were winning Division 1 back in those days, but even before our time. But they were one of the biggest clubs in England. At that time, you would have probably argued that Leeds were bigger than, I don't know, Man United, for example. They definitely were, but you would have argued Leeds were bigger than Nottingham Forest, let's say, because Nottingham Forest had won a couple of European Championships under Brian Clough around that time. But just because they were bigger then doesn't mean they're bigger now. Like, Leeds aren't the biggest club in England anymore. Like,
no, it's sure to say someone's never going to be it, because so much can change over the years. Like, who would have said that Man City would have been a bigger club than the kind of the other sides around them now? Because at the time they just kind of you could have been saying that 20 years ago. They've been visions. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, so what the press are saying, where they're like, if Carragher comes out, Pochettino has to take the Man United job if he's offered it. If Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer really ballses this up and Man United do get relegated, is Carragher still going to come out and say Pochettino should take the job? It's like, you can't say that sort of thing. It's ridiculous. But I do really want Pochettino.
Yeah, is there a number two? Is there even thinking who would?
I would quite like to see Zidane in, purely for the reason that I think he would literally get the most out of Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba growing up has already said Zidane was his idol. But then I think that's another short-termist sort of appointment. I think Pochettino, people like Eddie Howe, I think Eddie Howe could have a chance, but then you're sort of dropping into a little less bracket of managers. The issue you've got at the moment is
that
no
uncertainty. He hasn't got any European football around him. It's just that risk that you'd be taking there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, because probably the one issue I have with Pochettino is that he's never had to manage like a big ego. the players that he manages that have big egos, he's sort of given them that ego. Like your Harry Kane, your Dele Allis, Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris was a big name before he joined Spurs, but actually Hugo Lloris doesn't even seem like he even has an ego, to be honest. But like your Dele Allis and things like that, Pochettino's bought them up and sort of given them their ego so he can control it. Could Pochettino do that with a Pogba or a Sanchez, a Lukaku? Do you know what I mean? It's a sort of like
absolutely. No, I agree with that. He's not had superstars as yet, and it may be a different kettle of fish. But you'd have to give him, like, he will sell some players. He will just, like, he has cut players out completely out the side, and they do not play anymore. And they've been players you thought, oh, they're going to be there for a while. We've had Bentaleb, we've had Andros Townsend, we've got like even now, like you signed Nkudu last year or a couple of seasons ago for about 10 million. He literally is not even in the squad now. And Vincent Janssen, he cuts him out completely. And can he do that with a bigger name who's showing the same kind of lack of of appetite and attitude? But whether he'd get away with it, I don't know. But
that's true. I've never realised.
Yeah, see.
I never realised how ruthless he was with players.
Incredibly ruthless. It was just Andros Townsend one was he had an argument with one of the fitness coaches when he was doing some warm downs, and he was like, and he showed some dissent. I think he had a little bit of a scuffle with him. Gone, done.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. I mean, then we'll leave that there because I think we've covered it. You know, you're annoyed at the rumours. I'm annoyed at how they've come across. I'm very happy Mourinho's gone. Solskjaer's in. Brilliant. News that affects both our clubs. Champions League draw.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That wasn't the greatest draw for Spurs, I don't think.
The hardest informist team at the moment.
Yeah, so just in case you don't know, I'll run through the draws. So we had a three-way German-England matchup. So we have Schalke, Man City, Tottenham, Dortmund and Liverpool, Bayern. And I think we got the hardest one out of three there. To complete the set, yourselves have got Paris Saint-Germain, which again offers its own issues. And just to complete the set, we have Atletico versus Juve, which will be
tasty.
0-0. We'll have Lyon could be Lyon gave Man City a couple of good games. There's always one, isn't there? We have Roma Porto, which could easily be like a really good Europa League match, but is Champions League. And another tasty little match is Ajax versus Real Madrid. So some good matchups here, because it really did transpire that the group winners were kind of the runners up, were often the that grade down. So it has made for some big matchups. And Dortmund obviously flying high, lost their first Bundesliga game a few days ago, but we've played them a few times. We've played them in Champions League obviously last year, won both home and away, and then played them in the Europa League a few before that, and we got battered. But
but it's a different team now, isn't it? It's a different team, different manager. So it'll be interesting to see Pochettino Spurs up against Dortmund, because I think it's sort of a fixture that you look at and you think, God, that's going to have a lot of goals in it. And then when it actually comes to match day, it probably won't. It'll probably be like a 2-1 or a 1-1 over the two legs or something, and it's you're just not sure. It's the pick of the ties for me. Spurs Dortmund is the pick of the ties. It's incredible. Who's your pick of teams going through from each round? Each fixture. Who's going through into the?
So Man City are going to smash it.
Yeah.
Man City are going to absolutely thrash Schalke. Because Schalke had a really good season. It's always find it funny, like when Leicester got to a Champions League, it's like if only they could have played in the Champions League during their title-winning season when they're on. It's almost like you want to cut it at a certain point, like a halfway stage, and have a qualification for Europe. And so those teams who are performing fantastic that year, which may get decimated, like only lost N'Golo Kante, but it did change them somewhat, didn't it?
Yeah.
But so Man City to win that, I'd probably pick Juve over Atletico.
Yeah.
Atletico, they've got that bit of that experience, and obviously they have Cristiano Ronaldo. I'd then go for Paris to beat Man United. I don't think that's a big stretch there.
No, I'd agree.
I'll go against Spurs, and I'll probably go for Dortmund to go through. I think they're a very good side, and would be would have to be a big ask for us to go through, I think. Barcelona to beat Lyon. I'll go for Porto to beat Roma, Real Madrid to beat Ajax, and Liverpool.
Okay, Liverpool to beat Bayern.
Yeah, I think Liverpool obviously flying high, and Bayern obviously aging side, not performing the Kovac in Bundesliga. But I think it'll be interesting I will touch on it a bit later. The Man City Liverpool title race could very well be dependent on how each side's Champions League running goes.
Very true. Yeah, very true. I'm going to put my neck on the line.
Mover.
I think Ajax will beat Real Madrid.
They gave Bayern a very good match.
I think Ajax will beat Real Madrid because I think Real Madrid are, I don't know, they're not hitting top four, although they've just won the World Club Cup thing out in...
Is there a less important competition which seems like it should be important?
The Community Shield? I mean, that's pretty rubbish, isn't it?
It's when you've won a trophy to get into something. It's like, what you've... Yeah. You marrying up different competition winners. It's like, oh... Yeah, don't really care about it.
And especially the Club World Cup, I think, is a competition that the European teams generally win. I know River Plate and Boca have won it a couple of times, and the South American teams have a flirtation with it. But I mean, they won the final 4-1. They won the final 4-1. They won their qualifying game 3-0. River Plate, who somehow lost to Al Ain in the semi-final, won the third place playoff with a 4-0 win against some Japanese. It's just a bit of a joke, innit, really?
It is, isn't it? I know you want to marry it all up, but it's like, for most football fans, it's pretty obvious that whenever someone says, "Oh, the best player in Europe," just say best player in the world, because Europe is a step ahead of the other nations because of the amount of money involved.
Exactly.
The best players go to where the money is. The money's in Europe. There you are.
Interestingly, did you know that the team that Real Madrid beat, they had to play 3 other games to get to the final? They beat Team Wellington from New Zealand on penalties 4-3. Nice. Then they beat S Tunis, I assume from Tunisia, 3-0. Then they beat Guadalajara 6-5 on penalties, and then they lost to Real Madrid 4-1. That's a stupid amount of games, isn't it, for a stupid competition?
It is for a nonsensical competition. Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. Anything else in the news that caught your eye?
Yeah, I retweeted the other day, but Jose Antonio Reyes has been relegated to the third tier of Chinese football. So he's having a weird end to his career. The third
division of Chinese football?
Yes.
That is a fall from grace. That is incredible.
Yeah, to be fair, Matt, how old do you reckon Jose Antonio Reyes is now?
34.
Yeah, 35. In my head he was a bit younger, but yeah, he never really blossomed, did he?
No, he came with a lot of promise and just didn't fulfil it.
Yeah.
Always looked like he was going to be good, but didn't fulfil it. So, okay, anything else?
No, I think that's it. We'll move on to quiz tomorrow. Yeah.
It's your Christmas quiz.
So, if you had to tell me a bird is synonymous with Christmas, what bird would you tell me, Dave?
Robin.
Robin, correct. That worked perfectly. Imagine you said a different bird. Partridge. 4 league clubs in England have the nickname of Robins. You have to name me those clubs.
Oh, God. Well, the easiest one is Swindon.
You went that as easiest, did you?
Yeah, Swindon's easiest for Robins, definitely. 4 clubs. I've got my pen and paper. 4 clubs.
Okay.
Robins. Swindon. Swindon's one, so I've got one. I'm a quarter of the way.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. If that's not the easy one, then you would say Norwich?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you'd have got one because of another reason, but we'll leave it there.
Norwich? Are they no, they're the Canaries.
Yes. Oh, you're getting your birds mixed up.
I'm getting my birds mixed up, yeah. I did think, when you said a Christmas bird, I could have easily have said turkey, couldn't I? That would have really thrown me off.
Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, I've had more experience with turkeys on Christmas Day than robins.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
sounds filthy, doesn't it? Yeah, I've had a experience with a turkey. Yeah.
I think I'm going to really struggle with this.
Okay. Well, we can offer. I can
Really
offer you
special.
clues. I'll offer you one clue right straight off the bat. This one of these clubs goes down as one of my favourite Championship Manager games of all time. So that'll be a big clue to you.
One of the clubs goes down as one of your favourite Championship Manager games of all time.
Yeah. This team who have a nickname Robbins.
Oh, is it the team that begins with a C, who I can't remember?
It is. Christ, I didn't realise that was going to be a good clue.
Is it like? It's not Chelmsford. Is it Chelmsford?
So close.
Colchester. No.
No. We'll leave you to stew over that, and we'll move into the reviews of the week. If you can focus, Dave.
I can't. Yeah. I can't focus. That was such a good clue. Oh. Okay.
Right.
That's how long me and Josh have known each other.
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll move into the weekend's Premier League action, and what a weekend of results it's been.
It's been incredible. Yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. I was going to say, where do we start? Obviously, Friday night would be the best one to start with very quickly. But
yes, we're starting Wolverhampton, the Paul Ince derby.
You've got a bloody name for every derby.
I've tried, but some have eluded me. Yeah,
I like it. All right, thoughts?
I thought Wolves played pretty well first half, but then
I thought they were unlucky.
Yeah,
and then Liverpool, aren't they?
I don't know. Did Liverpool just turn it on, or did it's kind of a bit of an onslaught really? But Salah's going about his business pretty quietly this year, but he's doing well, scoring, assisting, isn't he?
He is. He's having another season where I think it's going to be the point of where Harry Kane. Everyone called him a one-season wonder, and now he's done it 3 in a row, and people are still calling him he can't keep it up, he can't do it every season. I think that's what it'll be with Salah. I think Salah will just keep. He probably won't hit the heights that he did in the first season, but I think he'll continue while he's in the Premier League and playing for a team like Liverpool. I think he'll continually score and assist goals at a
under a Klopp
level.
Under a Klopp side, which is fast flying attacking football, and it's obviously he's part of the main man of that side. They're set up for him. Yeah, he's going to score. I mean, I think we both thought he was going to score definitely a significantly fewer goals than last season. But he's probably doing better than I thought he would do. But yeah, impressive. Not as impressive as another man, Liverpool shirt. Big Virgil van Dijk. Man.
Yeah, he's just ridiculously good. He's just ridiculously good as a centre-back. It's unfair. It's unfair how good he is.
Do you know what he's like? He's like when you're a teenager and you either be a football manager or maybe Pro Evo or FIFA, where you just max out all the stats on the player and you just you create this beast of a player in your side. And normally you did it with a striker, but it's like some kid has gone and put him a 99 for all of his attributes, and I'm going to max out his height and his weight as well. It's like, what the hell is this man? And it just showed his pace as well. Adama Traore was on a break, knocked the ball round Virgil van Dijk, which he obviously had to then take a detour around him. But Virgil van Dijk finally looked like he tried to run a little bit and just brushed him aside. It's like, oh my, that's impressive, isn't it?
It's amazing to think he was at Celtic for as long as he was. When you see him now, you think to be at Celtic for that long is pretty ridiculous, to be honest. How he wasn't snapped up earlier by a Southampton or something like that earlier. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. He's so good.
But even to then go on to Southampton.
Yeah. But
yeah. But my word of caution to Liverpool fans, we won't be that he gets sold and that, but is there a team more reliant on one defender than that?
I agree. Yeah. They've
got very good fullbacks, don't get me wrong, but the difference he's made coming into that defence and kind of bringing everybody up to another level, if he's then to be removed out of that, will they regress to pre-Virgil van Dijk defending? And obviously they've changed keepers since then, which helps, but I worry that there's a significant drop in their quality.
Agree. I think it's a tough thing.
If he was to get injured, suspended this season.
Yeah, because Alisson is clearly a step up from Mignolet or Karius, but and Alisson has made some good saves. This isn't I don't want to have a dig at Liverpool fans saying your goalkeeper's rubbish, because he's clearly not. He's clearly a good goalkeeper, but would he be would he have the stats he's got if Virgil van Dijk wasn't in your central defence? I mean, and Virgil van Dijk he's playing next to Lovren, so he's got double the workload, to be honest. That's how good he actually is. So,
yeah.
But yeah. Dejan Lovren, who says they can go the season
He's
unbeaten.
never spent more than 2 whole seasons at a club.
Really? That's surprising.
Virgil van Dijk. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So does Liverpool fans feel like he can achieve what he wants with Liverpool? I suppose winning the league would be it, but do we think that he seems like he's a bit of a mercenary and he can take that next step up? So is there a worry that he'd then become a Real Madrid or a Barcelona?
No, maybe he hasn't been at a club for more than 2 years because everybody's seen him progress in that time. It takes him 2 years to progress at a club. I think he'll be at Liverpool for a while. I think he'll be there for a while, unless he's got a release fee in his contract.
I think he'd be silly to move. I think he can achieve, because obviously Liverpool have won the Champions League no time. They could win the Premier League this year. I think keeping this group of players together, they can achieve what they want to achieve. Some players always dream of playing for one of those 2 Spanish clubs because of the history they have and just the honour of playing for someone so great. But he's fantastic. Now Liverpool are obviously clear. Obviously, it was a big result we'll talk about in a bit, but Liverpool now, was it 4 points clear at the top of the table?
4 points clear, yeah. 4 points clear at the top. Impressive at Christmas.
Do you reckon I don't know, do you reckon a fan's happy about it? I mean, as a fan, I'd start getting a little bit nervous now, because it's almost like it's yours to lose. You add a little bit of pressure now that you are... Is it?
I think they are deliriously happy, Josh, to be honest, to be top at Christmas. Because in the last 8 seasons, the team that's top at Christmas has won the league. So,
well, yeah, it's something like 2 out of the last 10 or something. I mean, on those 2 not to win it are both Liverpool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Here comes the hat trick.
Yeah. But I mean, well, I think we'll touch on that later, won't we? Because we've got the poll results that you put out.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll get onto that in a bit.
Yeah.
So good result.
Right,
good result for Liverpool.
Yeah,
a good weekend. Good weekend for Liverpool.
Yeah.
So Arsenal Burnley.
All right, move on to I watched this match and live. Ashley Barnes is a top level bastard of a player. He just stirs things up. He's just always on it. He could easily have been sent off in this match. There's a little scuffle with Socrates on the sideline where he basically had Socrates in a headlock, and he was Socrates was trying to get up, and he had him in a headlock. Barging people around. I mean, in previous in his career, he's just a bastard. If he was playing for a top level side and got a bit more kind of publicity, he'd be widely hated by much more people.
Yes, I agree. I tuned in for the second half because obviously being in Singapore, the time difference is weird. So I tuned in for the second half, and I think in the first 5 or 10 minutes of me showing the game, the commentators that we had that I was watching it on said he's stepping very close to the mark, and then he had his incident with I think it was Guendouzi, when Guendouzi fell on the ball and actually the ref gave a handball
with his foot.
Yeah, and he tried to with inverted commas get the ball with his foot and drag it back. But yeah, it was he is a bit of a shit house, isn't he? Really, Ashley Barnes. Yeah. But into a brighter note of the game, I don't want to get bogged down in negatives and things like that. How good is Aubameyang? His goal scoring rate is ridiculous.
Doesn't it seem like such a long time ago that he was a kind of failed youth player at AC Milan?
I didn't even know that. He was a failed youth player at AC Milan. I just assumed he came through Dortmund's youth academy. Did he? That's what I assume. He just came through Dortmund's youth academy.
No, sorry, I have a vague memory of him in the reserves at AC Milan when playing Football Manager, and he obviously really pacey but had awful stats other than that, and never made an appearance for AC Milan.
Yeah, no, he didn't, and he made a lot of loan appearances out in France during his time. Just looking at Wikipedia.
Then finally went to France. Still didn't score many goals, but it was that. You've got a kind of mature, but he is a fantastic player and scores better goals than you think. You see him as a bit of a speed merchant, like playing off shoulder. But he does score some decent finishes. But that first Arsenal goal, the pass from Ozil is just ridiculous. Absolutely, for a left footer as well. The ball's going to be going off the pitch. It's curving away from him. It's just that's what Ozil brings. It's just like bring that every game, because you would be one of the world. He should have the amount of talent that boy possesses. He should be kind of Ballon d'Or kind of fodder, but he's nowhere near it because of consistency.
Yeah, it is. The consistency is the big word for it. It's just, I really like him as a player, but he must be so frustrating to watch. Like Pogba was obviously is frustrating to watch at times, but Ozil must just be. When you see him do a pass like that, you must just think, why can't you just do that every game? It's so good. But yeah, it's very annoying. But a good win for Arsenal. Burnley.
Yeah, I thought they were a little bit lucky overall because their finishing was just at level. I mean, Aubameyang's second goal took a deflection, good finish, but then their third goal was offside. Yeah. And I think I haven't seen the XG, but I doubt it is that different between the two sides because Burnley carved out a couple of chances and scored from one. But yeah, I thought it was a little bit. It could have. I started watching, and it could have gone either way. That first half, Burnley started a lot, ended the half really well, and but yeah, grinding out results, it's all good for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, one last thing on this game I want to say: Sean Dyche is very slowly edging into managers I don't like. Because he's becoming like Mark Hughes. Every game is a referee's fault. Every loss is the referee's fault. He had some valid points.
Do you know why, though? It's the pressure. And Mark Hughes has been basically an under-pressure manager for ever and a day, isn't he? He's always been a beleaguered Mark Hughes. And,
yeah, that's true.
And so it's that does it to you.
Yeah.
You're scrambling around for reasons, aren't you, rather than looking at yourself. But yeah, Burnley obviously in massive trouble, and similar to Huddersfield, I can't see what they're going to do about it really.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, moving on then. Bournemouth.
Yeah. Bournemouth, the Glen Murray derby.
Did you? Did you put your red card bet on?
Didn't put my red card bet on. And to be honest with you, it's pretty unfortunate red card because Mike Dean made a howler. He put the wrong player for the first.
For the first one.
Definitely, it wasn't Lewis Dunk, yeah.
No, I know, yeah. And it was a pretty big faux pas to get the two players mixed up, really. So I don't think I need to go into any more detail than that. But two well taken goals by Brooks. I loved his header. The second goal was incredible.
Oh yeah, the header's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just so. I love seeing
both
goals like
are lovely finishes, but that it's so intentional header. It's just it's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, he's done well he's been, well, I think Eddie Howe described it, pleasantly surprised by how good he's been.
Yeah, I bet.
Since coming up. He's been...
Yeah, you're signing a 2021-year-old player for 11 million from a league below with no top flight experience. You probably think, whatever we can get out of this, it might just kind of take a while to adapt, but he's, 5 goals now, and really, really doing well. And another assist from Ryan Fraser, so that was... He's got 8 now this season. That's I think only Eden Hazard's got more, so...
right.
Very impressive.
He's doing well. I mean, there's not really much else to say. Brighton had a few chances, but
3 losses in a row now for Brighton. It's a little bit
slippery slope.
You don't want that to be your Christmas. You don't want to carry this through Christmas because it's probably got 2-3 more games that could easily find themselves. Because at the moment they're well away from a drop zone. They're 9 points clear of Burnley.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, you don't want a couple of because thick and fast at this time. You don't want to be taking that run of form much further.
No, exactly. So, but yeah. So next up, Josh, I'll beat you to this one: the N'Golo Kante derby, or Ranieri,
or the Danny Drinkwater derby,
or the Danny Drinkwater derby,
or the Mark Schwarzer derby.
Oh, there's loads of them.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Leicester.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. But rumor. I saw a rumor before. Claude Puel's job was at risk.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's given himself a few more games now because, Chelsea's result kind of goes under the radar here as weekend shocks because of shock of the Manchester clubs. But it's not a great result for them. And that's 3 losses out of the last 6. I mean, their last 6 games is ridiculous. They've lost 3 of them, and in that time also beaten Man City. It's like, what are you doing?
What's going on? I mean,
but the goal.
Kante, I did see the goal. It's Maddison again with another assist. He's playing very well.
Ricardo Pereira bursting through.
Doing well.
He's been a good side.
He just hits the ball so hard. Jamie Vardy. He just hits that ball so hard.
Yeah, you could have made that if you kind of kind of animated that goal and made every player look like a kind of a foosball table, kind of a generic head and kit. I wouldn't have. I was like, oh, who's this scored this goal? As soon as that person strikes the ball, I've gone Jamie Vardy. As a Jamie Vardy finish.
Yeah. Leathers it as hard as he can at the near post into the like the roof of the net. It's just just a lovely goal. Do you think the N'Golo Kante experiment and Jorginho thing is backfiring on Sarri? Putting Jorginho in the holding midfield and pushing Kante a bit further up. Well, but it got them the win against Man City.
It did, but I think you highlight flaws in both players' skill sets by doing it, because Jorginho can't defend, and N'Golo Kante hasn't really got great technique.
Yeah,
he's not. He scored. I know he scored against City, but overall he's not blessed with great technique. He's blessed with a fantastic engine. He can read the game well and make a clean challenge. They are his kind of top three. And bursting forward and playing passes and linking plays, not his skill set. So I imagine. And it's so funny, before the match, Vardy was the one saying that he plays in a system which doesn't suit him, although he's still scoring. Well, N'Golo Kante could probably say the same thing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd definitely agree. So, I can't see Chelsea doing much else this season other than just securing a top 4 spot if they can hold on to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's their challenge: secure a top 4. Maybe a run in the Europa League, but they need to probably maintain their top 4 status if Sarri's to have a successful first season, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And then we move on to, we've mentioned him, Mark Hughes, so his old club, Southampton, and Hassan Hoodl,
yeah,
doing a very good job, it seems.
Klopp of the Alps, 2 wins in a row after a lovely result against Arsenal last week. I think 3 headers, was it?
Yeah.
But, that's 2 wins on the bounce, and really, it pushes them up now 3 points ahead of Burnley, and a lovely little like a Christmas present for them all. It's, and some quite decent goal. I liked when Nathan Redmond gets a goal. He was previously the player with most shots without scoring so far this season, with 28 shots. But he managed to get his goal. Lovely little. It was more like a striker's goal. He found himself through the middle, played through, and buries the goal. That was a nice finish, Jamie Vardy-esque.
It was very Jamie Vardy-esque. Yeah, I mean, Danny Ings. It was a definite penalty for me. Seeing it, I mean,
such a lazy challenge, and that's. It sort of looks like Huddersfield have just sort of. I don't want to say they've given up on the Premier League this year, but that performance was pretty woeful at home. I think they lack belief, don't they?
Yeah.
Few goals they score as a side. I think last year they scored naffle, didn't they? Like 20 odd goals or something, and now I think they scored like 4 home goals this season, something like that. And it's like, as soon as they concede a goal, they almost know, right, it's a draw or a loss, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I just want to say Danny Ings' penalty was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable penalty. He hardly had any backlift in his foot, and he tucked it right in off the inside of the post in the bottom corner. I just love penalties like that. Love it. It was so accurate. It was unbelievable. Yeah, good finisher. Yeah.
When Huddersfield pulled a goal back, I like Philip Billing. I like him. It's impressive that a man of that size finds himself in midfield.
I can't tell what he brings. I don't see it. You say, what do you like about him?
I think he's quite good on the ball. He seems, obviously got a shot away, but he seems technically quite good. He can strike a free kick the other week. He gets himself around the pitch nicely. You could see
a different Premier League club maybe picking him up next season if Huddersfield go down.
Potentially, I think he's a bit of a shining light for him. But I mean, not necessarily that bright a shining light because it's quite poor Huddersfield side. But I think he's one of their better players. But shocking. You look at that goal and you think it's taken deflection. It hasn't taken a deflection. It's such poor keeping from Alex McCarthy.
Yeah, it really is.
But they got £13 million Angus Gunn waiting in the wings.
That's so strange, isn't it? That signing. It was just weird. £13 million on a backup goalkeeper. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, and Leicester are the same with Danny Ward.
Ward,
was it? Yeah. How much people clubs backup goal homegrown backup goalkeepers.
Yeah, true. Okay. Anyway, so the game of the weekend, or at least the shock of the weekend, coming up next.
Yeah, no goals in the Newcastle Fulham match.
Yeah, 0-0 Newcastle Fulham. You know what I'm talking about,
Fulham
Josh.
kept
Man
a clean
City.
sheet, Christ.
Well, actually, that is a miracle. That is a Christmas miracle right there. Raniero's got my pizza.
Zaha derby. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Right, Man City 2, Crystal Palace 3.
Wow. It looked like it was going to be business as usual, didn't it? And Gundogan ghosted in, scored. Like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And then we have a decent finish from Jeffrey Schlupp. Played the ball. Zaha did well and switched to play nicely and finished it. But Andros Townsend.
Wow. What a goal.
Yeah.
What a goal.
That is an absolute blooter, isn't it? And
goal of the season?
Now, so far, I'd say it's up there. I'm not a big fan. I'm a fan of those. Clearly, lucky. Anyone can strike a ball nicely once. That's not my type of goal, but it's a fantastic finish. And I suppose the timing of it and what is meant to the Palace now. Yeah, the man scored 17 Premier League goals. 10 of them are outside the box.
Yeah, I saw that.
Doesn't like getting in that box.
Well, he said, didn't he? He came out on an interview quite recently or something, saying he's got to work on the scoring more goals, scrappy goals. And it was sort of like, well, you don't need to worry about that if you can hit it from there, from 35 yards or whatever, into the top corner. It was just ridiculous. A ridiculous hit. Absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah, I mean, Kyle Walker didn't have a game to remember, did he, for Man City?
No, really.
He was shocking.
Yeah. Liability,
according to Rio Ferdinand, yeah. So, but yeah. So, anything else to take from the game other than just sort of wow?
City haven't kept clean for 8 games in a row in all competitions now.
Oh, that's yeah.
And they started off the season so well defensively.
They're being found out at the back, I think, aren't they?
Well, that just adds fuel to the flames that you should go at City. You're able to get at them, and obviously a little bonus for City is De Bruyne is coming back, scored a goal, obviously, not intentionally.
Scored a cross.
Yeah, so maybe it's not good because he's come back and he can't cross for shit now. He's not finding a man. But yeah, I think I mentioned earlier that I think the Champions League, the needle mover in this title race, because if Man City do find themselves a little bit adrift to Liverpool, and say after this round of fixtures, say Liverpool get knocked out and City progress in the Champions League, I can see City prioritising the Champions League over the league play.
Yeah.
And Liverpool can then be able to prioritise the league over the Champions League, and I think that's where it could be come down, because obviously City have never won a European Championship. They really want to. Guardiola's a big fan of it. Obviously, they can probably breeze through most results with a second string anyway.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
But yeah, never know. Big matches may come at the same time that Champions League matches come in, and so it'll be interesting to see how people prioritise. But obviously, even in the next 3 matches, we've got a lot to go, because Liverpool play in the next 3 matches, play a team, and then Arsenal and Man City. So it could all change in the next 2 weeks. So
yes, it could be, and that's why we love the Premier League, though, isn't it? For fixtures like this, results like this. Man City losing at home to Crystal Palace, ruining everybody's accumulators across the country.
Yeah, that is the accumulator terminator.
So,
and that's the joy of having the Christmas period, isn't it? Where you can have so many games, and you normally find a few more draws because players just eke out results because they're playing like 2 days after each other. But it's lovely to see.
It's good fun. It's very good fun. Yeah, very good fun. So we covered the Newcastle Fulham Mitrovic derby, 0-0.
Yeah.
Anything you really want to say about that other than nothing?
No.
No. Okay, moving on. West Ham losing at home. It was a statement of a result, yeah. West Ham losing at home to Watford.
Yeah, they were going for their 5th consecutive win, and I thought, because West Ham have potential to be like because they've got a very good manager. They seemingly bought pretty well. Players doing like their centre-back partnership's doing really well with Balbuena and Diop and Fabianski, all new signings. Obviously, you got Philippe Anderson, new signing. You had Yarmolenko, new signing. You got a lot of players to bed in, but they've started well. But it was poor old Balbuena for the penalty. He gets his studs caught. Other than that, if he didn't get his studs caught and he managed to extend his leg, I think he'd have made a clean challenge and prevented the goal.
I'm not sure.
Instead,
he was the wrong side. He was the wrong side.
He was the wrong side, but I think he'd have enough to get enough on the ball because it's a big decision to make otherwise.
Yeah.
He gets the ball, I think he'd be alright, but instead he injures himself, gets a yellow and concedes a penalty. So probably the worst alternative option, but
yeah. And then the guy who's top of your Christmas card list tucks the penalty away.
Yeah.
Troy Deeney.
Absolute tool when goes and smashes the corner flag out. It's just
He's a douche.
He is a douche. And then
and then Deulofeu carried on his goal scoring run. Yeah. Nice little finish.
Yeah, tidy little finish that was. Yeah, tidy.
I think he's doing. He seems to be doing all right, doesn't he? Seems to be impressing and getting back into a bit of a groove. Deulofeu.
First time he scored 2 in a row in Premier League matches.
Is it? That's wow.
A sad indictment.
Yeah,
but,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, progress nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly.
And Watford find themselves in 7th position now.
I know. Who would have thought that when they've got a new manager every single season? You wouldn't have pictured them going that high. But yeah, they're doing pretty well. They're flying high, the Hornets. And if they got rid of Troy Deeney, they'd be a much more likeable club. That's all I can say. So
yes. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah. But I guess Watford fans are probably a sort of like... They probably... Do you reckon Watford fans like the fact that people dislike Troy Deeney? Do you think it makes them stronger as a team? Like,
yeah. It's like I don't care that fans. I fully understand it. Fans don't like Dele Alli. I think I can understand it, but I disagree with it. But other fans don't like Dele Alli, but I love the man. He always kind of club players at your club.
Yeah, very true, very true. And then on to the best result of the weekend, no matter even what happens tonight, Josh, with you lot playing. Man United smashed a very well-drilled Cardiff team, who we know are exceptional footballers, and I'm not going to have any of this.
Yeah,
it's only Cardiff.
Fodder.
They're definitely not relegation fodder. They're very difficult to beat at home, and we went
not even in the relegation zone. They're outside the relegation zone.
So there you go. So there you go. It's a tough Premier League fixture that Man United came out of 5-1. It was incredible. I watched it. I stayed up 2:00 in the morning. It started here.
Nutter, absolute nut job.
I think I was like, it was a vindicated decision. That's what I want to say. I don't know if that's the right word to use. I'm guessing. I'm excited. I'm rambling. But yeah, I mean, perfect start for Ole Solsjkaer. And 3 minutes in, Rashford tucks a free kick away into the corner, which he's been trying for God knows how long and doesn't pull it off. But he finally sticks one in with a knuckleball hit, which was nice. Herrera then hits a shot nicely into the back of Cunningham, I think it was, the loop over the goalkeeper Etheridge. Then Cardiff get a penalty back. Rashford being a bit stupid. I don't know what he was. Was it a handball? Have you seen the highlights? Did you watch the game?
I think he was a bit unlucky. I think it was shoulder, but just by that movement in the box, I think it's just a bit unnecessary. He could have done something else which wouldn't have run the risk of doing it. Yeah,
exactly. So I think it was a penalty. I thought it actually hit his arm, not his shoulder, but tucked away very nicely to beat David De Gea by Kamada Sara. And then we promptly went up the other end and scored one of the best goals I've seen Man United score this season, I think. It was lovely passing football. Absolutely cut through Cardiff, and then Martial tucked it nicely into the bottom corner off the post, which was wonderful stuff. And then Lingard got the first of his double, running through, getting fouled in the box by Big Sol Bamba, getting up, taking the penalty, putting it away nicely, calm and composed penalty, and then finishing it off 90th minute, going round the goalkeeper. So it was a great game. I absolutely loved it. Any highlights for you?
I think you were a little bit lucky.
Really? I think you're an idiot.
Yeah. No. I think you made your own luck by being a bit more expansive and a bit more attacking, but Cardiff still created some chances.
A couple.
So you obviously defensively, I think defensively you still have lots of questions but just showing by how you be a bit more expansive up front and actually put in some effort and be a bit more creative, you can create your own luck. So the penalty you won, I think, is a little bit fortuitous. Obviously,
No, it's
shot
not. He
from
kicked him. No,
Herrera's shot.
He
Herrera's
kicked the back
shot
of his leg.
is fortuitous.
Yeah, Herrera's shot's
but
absolutely
I think
fortuitous.
just by pushing yourselves into those positions is getting his. I wouldn't say it's clear cut penalty, but I can see what it's given. But yeah, I'd say and I think Rashford. I don't know. Rashford's goal is. Yes, it looks horrible as a free kick going into the bottom corner like that. It doesn't. It doesn't has the. It's not as aesthetically pleasing. But I'd say overall, I think you had to rubber green because I don't imagine. And I'd say, look, your XG really isn't that different to Cardiff's. It's a couple. Maybe I think it was like 1.7 to 1.3, and so yeah, you didn't carve out and it's not a 5-1 where you think you've had loads and loads of clear-cut chances, but well done to you for the first time since Sir Alex Ferguson left, scoring 5 goals.
Exactly, and it's...
Do you remember the last game you scored 5 goals?
Yes, obviously, West Brom 5-5. It was an amazing game.
Where one of your own players scored a hat-trick against you, in hindsight.
Yeah, but it was just very good to fun and see attacking football and fullbacks pushing on.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A fluid front three.
Bleak.
It's been really bleak, but it was great. Loved it. And what we've done, Josh, we've gone on for absolutely ages. So let's move on. Otherwise, I can carry on chatting about Man United beating the mighty Cardiff 5-1 for forever. What's up next? Is it the Wiki Files?
It's the Wiki Files.
It's the Wiki Files. I got a Wiki File. You got a Wiki File. Here comes a Wiki File for you. Hey, Josh, you've got my wiki file.
Oh, Dave, what have you done to me?
I said before we started recording, I was confident. I had a skip in my step that you wouldn't get it. Do you know who it is off the top of your head already?
Not off the top of my head, no, don't know who it is. So
Yes!
They started out at Manchester United, appearing never in 1989. So they then moved on for a 7-year career at Rotherham, getting 70 goals in 209 games. So I had a big old career there. So that is not Premier League football. Loan out to Notts County, 1 appearance, nothing much. Then they moved down to the West Country to spend a couple of years at Bristol, scoring 40 goals in 75 appearances.
Which is
Which got them their big move. Their big move to Manchester City. He's played 184 games, scoring 84 goals. Now they then moved down, or maybe stay in the Premier League, but they moved to Reading, 43 appearances, a little bit of a loan to Coventry. 6 games in 2005. Then spent a season at Southend. They're really dropping down now.
Yeah,
11 goals in 34 appearances. Yeah,
it drops off a cliff after Man City.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Bermuda.
Or maybe Reading.
A year in Bermuda, lovely, a bit of a tax haven. Bermuda Hoggers, 3 goals in 9 appearances, and then they played for wherever this is, North Village Rams, for 7 games, scoring 1 goal.
Can I just give you a very interesting fact
about North Village Rams?
No, about Bermuda Hoge.
All right.
They are from Bermuda, but they play in the 3rd division in America.
Oh,
how weird is that?
Okay. That is odd.
I came across this player as a wiki file because I got lost in a Wikipedia tumbling well and just carried on clicking things on different articles. Ended up at Bermuda Hogs and then found this player, and I was like,
"You ended up at Bermuda Hogs?" Okay,
oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. Going through the American football
they retired
pyramid
8 years ago, so they could be kind of mid-40s now. So, can you at least tell me? I presume Man City is their Premier League.
Yeah, Man City is the only Premier League football he's played.
And was that for all of that time? I can't remember.
No, he came up through the divisions with Man City. He made, I think it was 42 appearances, if I remember rightly, for Man City in the Premier League. He definitely qualifies for the Carnival. That's why I was checking before the pod. So, do you have any ideas?
Well, the only player I've got in my head is he was infamous for me as a footballing memory. He scored the winning goal when Spurs got beaten 4-3 by Man City. And it is John Mad, but I have no idea of his other footballing.
It is not. It is not. Did you say John Mackham? Sorry, you cut out a little bit there.
Yeah, it's John Mackin, is my guess.
It is not John Mackham. Do you want his international stats?
Please do.
Okay, I'll just send them over. Here they come.
I see a player who I now know. He has had a lovely career in Bermuda, international Bermuda. Look at that. Oh my goodness, 32 goals in 36 appearances. If you feed the goat, he will score.
If you feed the goat, he will score. Sean Gota is this week's wiki file. He has had one hell of a career when you read his Wikipedia page. It is ridiculous. Started out at Man United when he had actually gone back to Bermuda for Thanksgiving to spend with his mum, and Man United randomly had a scout that was there on holiday and saw him play in a fixture there and was like, if you can come to England, we'll give you a trial. And his mum paid for all of his flights. He came to England because he was been based somewhere else. Came to England, got a trial, signed for Man United, didn't play for them, moved to Rotherham, got signed by Bristol City for like £400,000 or £175,000, then signed by Man City for £400,000. Came up with them through the divisions. Then left Southend. You spotted this. He went to Bermuda Hogs, where he was player coach in the United States Division 3 or Division 2, as the third tier of American football technically, and then went back to North Village Rams, which was his home team, where he started as a youth player in Bermuda and took over management 4 years after retiring, and is now manager of Ickleston in England.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've also just logged onto his Wikipedia page, and I got very confused when I read the name of his two daughters, Amaya, and what I thought was an L in his daughter's name. Her name is Anais, and I thought it was, instead of
Alice.
I thought it was Anals instead of Anais. Oh, well, that's progressive. That's a different name.
Yeah, there you go. It definitely is. Definitely is. But yes, so there you go. You did get the wiki file.
I did, but I needed the international clue.
You needed the international clue. 32 goals in 36 games is incredible. International. I mean, they're not playing the best of teams.
I'm only imagining the level of competition was somewhat reduced.
But somewhere else in his wiki file, I've lost it where it is at the moment. But he took something like, so he missed something like 16 games or something during his time at Man City to go and play for Bermuda. I was like, what? When do you have to miss why does no one at the moment have to miss 16 games to go and play international? That's like rugby, isn't it? Where they play international.
Yeah, like cricket, where they just
it's so bizarre, so bizarre. But there you go, Sean Gota. Any standout memories?
His country.
Standout memories of Sean Gota?
Feed the goat and he'll score, being a popular, made popular on Soccer AM. No, he was a all right. It's that weird time of Man City, wasn't it? He was there when they kind of started pushing on a little bit, because I think he was there along the same time as I think Nicholas Anelka must have been there some of the time. It's just a bit odd. It was a very strange.
He moans a lot about Nicholas Anelka in his biography. So
yeah, and he would have been there at the same time as
John Mackin. Yeah, he would have been there at the same time as John Mackin. Yeah, but yeah, I've only got one. But two standout memories where he scored against Man United. One of them was the winner in the derby, and then the other one was the equaliser in another derby. Very annoying. But yeah, he was very gangly and didn't look like he shouldn't really have been a footballer. But
he didn't really look like wasn't your textbook kind of. I don't think he would have had the same level of coaching throughout his youth as others. But yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Effective.
I'm happy with that one.
Well done.
I think it's the first one I've given you in 3 attempts where you haven't just got it straight away. So. And it wasn't an Englishman.
I like that standard of Wikifile suits me down to the ground. So thank you very much, Dave.
Excellent. Good. Right, next up then, quick chat about the poll that you put out.
Yeah. So it came about after Wolves had were going to end or be top at Christmas, and so I was like, I wonder how people feel about this. What do people think is going to be the end result coming in the season? Who is going to win the league? So I picked obviously the 4 best sides in the country. No space for others. Sorry, Dave.
Oh.
So Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. I mean, Tottenham, and Chelsea are there as fodder because I mean, in my heart of hearts, I don't believe Tottenham can win a title this year.
Yeah.
There's a 1 in a million chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? So I am, but I don't fully believe it. So Man City or Liverpool, it was seemingly been badged as the title race, and so we let it to a public vote, and it didn't help us deduce a winner at all because the final results are in. It is equal between Man City and Liverpool. No one can split the difference.
It's
40% each for Man City and Liverpool, 10% each for Tottenham and Chelsea.
I found that incredible. I found it absolutely incredible that it was a dead heat. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a poll where something's been a dead heat.
No.
But there you go. Yeah, it was. Who did you vote for?
City.
Yeah, same here. Interesting. So we both voted Man City. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going via history that Liverpool have really fucked it up a couple of times, and
Yeah.
although it's hard to retain, and it's not harder. It's very difficult to retain. But I think Man City have been there, done that. Obviously, I think they have a better manager. But obviously, Klopp has experience of title wins, so it should be a very good title race. Hopefully, we'll see what we're saying in a couple of weeks' time after the
Liverpool Man City game. Be interesting. Be very, very interesting. Okay, so just for my 2 cents on that, by the way, I think I've selected Man City because they got squad depth, and what we're discussing earlier about Van Dijk injury, if something was to happen to him, I think that would be Liverpool done in the title race, to be honest. But very interesting. Okay, so it's Quiz Kamara. It's the answers.
It is. The answers are
right.
The answers from Dave so far. You've named Swindon Town
as a club with a nickname of the Robins. Now, one, I don't know why I didn't get this straight away. Bristol City, obviously, where I used to live for
that's one I thought you were going to get.
6 years. Yeah, that came to me later on. And now I haven't got all 4. I've got a third answer, but it's got a question mark next to it because it's the one with your Football Manager save. And I've gone with Cheltenham.
Correct. That is correct.
I thought
now,
their badge had a sparrow on it.
Yeah, which is... Yes. These, I think, sides can have a number of nicknames, and so probably not their top nickname. And I also say that the last one, you wouldn't know this as their nickname.
Okay, so who is it? Put me out my
one you can't get is Charlton Athletic.
Bollocks! They're not known as the Robins.
So, the Red. The Valiant, so it is a number of nicknames. So it was difficult, I admit, but you didn't win.
No, well, I'll take 3 out of 4, 75%.
Yeah, I'll give it. That's an A. I'll give you an. In the world of modern results, it's like a 8 or something because they've changed it. It's weird.
It's a first. We'll go for university laws.
Oh my goodness! Right.
Yeah, it's a distinction.
Yeah.
If you're doing a masters, wow, distinction in the names of Robins. No, I've ruined it.
Robins amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, see, I'm on their Wikipedia page. The club's traditional kit consists of red shirts, white shorts, and red socks, and their most commonly used nickname is the Addicts. Not the bloody
I didn't say it's their
Robins.
most commonly used nickname. I said it's a nickname.
Wow.
And if you look to the right-hand side there, nicknames.
Wow, yeah. But can I file a complaint to the Quiz Kamara committee, please? Not happy with that quiz question.
You can go page and remove Robins, and then it will all be.
Then I'll be 100% if I do that.
Poor old Charlton, though.
Yeah.
If Kirbishley stays up later, thinking about the fact that he was directly responsible for, coincided with their fall from grace when he left the club.
Yeah, that's not his fault.
No, but I think he would. If he had stayed, would he be in this?
Well, probably. Well, eventually, I guess. Probably. He would have had to leave at some point. Unless he's there in perpetuity. So, yeah.
I'd probably blame Pardew. Blame Pardew.
Didn't they get bought out by some company that then got rid of or ruined everything. Generally, that's what happens to football teams, isn't it? Someone buys the club after they've passed all the FA nonsense tests that don't really mean anything, and then they ruin the club anyway. So,
quick question: do you have any favourite memories of Charlton and Premier League? Any favourite players?
Yes, Jonathan Johansson. Absolutely used to love him. No idea why. I saw him score. I think
I also love Klaus Jensen. Klaus Jensen had a lovely bit of technique.
Yeah, Scott Parker.
Jonathan Johansson.
Yeah, he was at Charlton. Jonathan Johansson, I think, was the player I saw, or I can at least remember, scoring the first overhead kick I'd ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, if I remember, I'm pretty sure that's why I really liked him, Jonathan Johansson.
I can remember a strange amount of that side. So I remember one day Dean Kiley came back into the side and he'd been with shit kicked out of him by Andy Todd in training, and he had black eyes. Obviously had Chris Powell left back, Rufus.
Oh, Richard Rufus.
Richard Rufus.
Yeah, Richard Rufus.
Mark Fish.
Yeah. Fish cost a fortune.
Luke Young at right back. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Mark Kinsella, Matt Holland in centre midfield. Obviously, Klaus Jensen. Didn't have a nippy wing. Did Charlton have Dennis Rommedahl for a while?
Yeah, they did have Dennis Rommedahl. I was trying to remember. I was pretty sure they did have Dennis Rommedahl. Who did they have up front with Jonathan Johansson? Or not always with Jonathan Johansson, but sort of rotated with him.
Sean Bartlett they had.
Sean Bartlett, that was it. The Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I don't know his nationality, but he, obviously had Darren Bent for the later time, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, incredible. Absolutely incredible. And do you know what I'm doing now? I'm looking at Dennis Rommedahl's Wikipedia page.
He was always known as one of the fastest players in the world, and he was overall pretty poor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. If you Google Rommedahl, the second thing that comes up as an option search is the Rommedahl speed test. So I don't know if he's actually got a speed test named after him, because it's called the Rommedahl speed test. Anyway,
that would be impressive.
Maybe that's something for another episode. But maybe. Oh, he would have been a great wiki file. Damn it. Damn it.
Did he play enough? Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. So, anyway, I think is that us done for this week's episode? I think it is.
I think so. Radostin Kishishev.
We're just now chatting on about old Charlton players. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah. Oh, I love reminiscing about old players.
Yeah.
Chris Powell. Richard Rufus. He was always awesome.
Jason Newell. Do you remember Jason?
Jason Newell, yeah. I remember Jason Newell when he was at Wimbledon. The proper Wimbledon.
Same here. Danny Murphy had a stint at Charlton, wasn't he?
Yeah, Danny Murphy. Yeah, bloody hell.
Kevin Lisby. He was never really mounted to much, but
Kevin Lisby. Oh, so many good players. So many good players. You put a big smile on my face.
Just players, really.
Yeah, Luke Young at right back.
And Paul Konchesky at left back.
Yeah. What an era. We've definitely lived through the best football era.
Oh, absolutely.
We're still alive, so we're still living through it. I shouldn't have said we lived through it. We are still alive.
That's good.
So, but yeah. Oh, cool. All right, we'll end it there because we've massively run over time anyway. So
leave us a message if you have a favourite Charlton player from the thousands, which we haven't mentioned. We've mentioned a lot.
We have mentioned most of them. So
give us a tweet. You can send tweets to @FootballTalk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
Correct. But also find us on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Yeah, just search for Football Talk, and we are the first people that come up on both those social. Were they both social medias? I guess they are now, aren't they? YouTube and SoundCloud are both their class. Yeah, both class of social media.
The comment section and different profiles, so you can message people. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, excellent. Right, well, we'll be back with a Christmas special, and I'm coming. I'm making it, Josh. Nothing's going to hold me back. I'm going to make it to the UK for Christmas. So
hold off on my aerial photos of Gatwick Airport I was going to take, but
please do. No drones. Nobody, please. Drones.
I've got a drone for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. I'll already be in the UK then. That's fine if you get it for Christmas.
Yeah.
Unless you're a naughty boy and you open your presents early. You shouldn't be doing that, Josh. That's naughty.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. We will speak to you very, very soon for our Christmas special. But for now, we're out. Josh, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We're out.